Hello everyone, good morning, good evening. Welcome to Cloud and DevOps Real-Time Training. So today is a session 4 of the Real-Time DevOps with AWS training. Yesterday we discussed about in Linux there are two varieties of authentication mechanisms. One is username password, which is the way that is most recommended. And Linux also offers another way of a authentication mechanism, which is called as a passwordless authentication. So Linux is native to passwordless authentication. Typically, if you want to connect to a server using passwordless authentication, you can enable it by using something called as a key pair. You can generate the key pair, and using the key pair, you can connect to the server. So when you say keeper, you are going to generate a public key and a private key. Public key, you're going to put it on the top of your server, just like just like a lock to your home, and key. Using this key, which is supposed to be on your desktop, using this key, you're going to connect. This way, you don't have to present the password every time. For example, in a day, if you're connecting to a server 20 times every day, every time entering password 20 times sounds not soothing, right? So this is one of the easiest way that we can use. But again, in corporate, you won't be seeing much usage of the keys, okay? Because it's a legacy way of authenticating, but everywhere we are going to use username and password. And that's also the reason tomorrow I would like to bring a username password based thing. Okay, so yesterday also we discussed about what is the time taken to install the operating system. If approximately you to install any sort of operating system, it's going to take 30 minutes of time. But on cloud, okay, it takes just less than 1 minute of time. How that's happening is also something we discussed. Okay, and for that it uses something called as AMI. AMI stands for Amazon Machine Image, where Amazon offers the installed operating system on the top of a disk readily available for you. Okay, so AMI is the Amazon terminology, Amazon Machine Image. It offers operating system in the form of a disk which is already installed. Okay, that's one thing I would like to bring. So today's agenda is going to be very, very simple. And also I discussed about, I created a server using putty. I connected to a server. I also discussed about if the servers are remote, we are going to use RDP to connect to Windows based machine. If it is Linux, we are going to use SSH. SSH stands for secure shell, which is a mechanism to connect to the Linux based machines. Okay, so let's try to have some agenda. Okay, as I mentioned, today's agenda. Okay, a lot of people have approached me saying that they are not comfortable with the passwordless authentication. So I would like to discuss one more time. So I would like to show creating a server. People, you can go on mute if you are not speaking. Creating a server one more time. One more time. Tomorrow I'll be coming up network one more time using keys. So I'll go by generating the keys. The next thing, the next thing that I would like to talk about is billing in AWS, instance types in AWS. Okay. And next, billing in AWS. And next, there is a concept called as a launch template. Launch template. What is a launch template? We'll talk all about it. And if possible, 90% discount on EC2 using Spot. All right. Okay. So before I proceed, one more point. Since we are running the free sessions, till tomorrow the sessions are going to be free. Please confirm your enrollment. And majority of the people who has confirmed their enrollment, they have got the onboarding emails. So please ensure you check your mails if you have confirmed your enrollment. You would have received onboarding email, because from day after tomorrow sessions are going to be private. Okay. So this is how you would have got email. this is the subject line. Okay, and it will be like DevOps starters email batch 57. Okay, you would have got it. In case if you haven't got it, just reach me out. I'll be helping you. Okay, so yeah, please confirm your enrollment, guys, because we are going to offer one more session free. And tomorrow we'd like to start with Linux, and at the same time, we'd also show you the projects that we are going to do. That's something very important. All right, let's get started. So I would like to go by creating server one more time, as few of the people had challenges in connecting to the server. So first, I just connected to the server, and then always ensure you're in the North Virginia, because in North Virginia, billing is relatively competitive when compared to the other regions. Yesterday, I got some nice questions. If why in some regions cost is high, why in some regions cost is less? Depends on the law of the land, right? For example, you take a toothpaste. Toothpaste, you get it for 100 rupees in India. For example, in states they charge you $6, $8. You might think 6 into 8, $480 or $500. The same toothpaste I get it for 150 rupees in India. Why? Because the law of the land, the taxation different, product price in different area varies based on the law of the land where they are procuring the living cost. And that's the reason even though all the four regions are in states, still the billing varies, because in states, from state to state, the law varies, the taxation differs. Okay, in few states you have state tax, in few states you have a sales tax, in few states you don't have a state tax, right? Likewise, you also see the difference in billing between Mumbai versus Hyderabad. Yesterday, a few people approached me saying, Manu, I live in Hyderabad, but I don't see the Hyderabad region here. And if you look at this, mine is an old account, and that's the reason it was disabled. And if you want, you can enable it. Okay. And if you want this to be enabled, you can you can do it. All right. So yeah, let's get started. So before that, what is the name of the service that we are going to use to create a service in AWS, to create a server in AWS? Anyone? Anyone? What is the service that we have used yesterday to create a server?
EC2.
Sorry? Exactly, EC2.
EC2.
So all I do is I come here and I say EC2. EC2 stands for Elastic Cloud Compute. So I come here and I would like to launch an instance. Again, Red Hat 9 is the latest version of Linux. So in training also, I will be using only the Red Hat 9. Okay. So since we are learning Linux, all we're going to do is learning Linux. Okay. Rel 9. Okay? Because naming standard is very important. And the next thing is choose the operating system, choose the AMI. I would like to go I would like to go by rel 9. I would like to go by rel 9. Okay, you can see rel 9. So it's a free tier eligible and it's also available, and it says it's a Red Hat 9. So I'm going to select this. Okay, and you can also select this. I'm going with 64-bit x86. So that's okay. All right. Now, ensure. So whenever you're using an AMI, always ensure it's always recommended you use it from the reputed providers like CentOS, Red Hat, Ubuntu. They are the verified companies. They supply these images. So it's always recommended to use the images from here. Okay. So we are also going to generate our own AMIs in the upcoming session. It's too early. At that time, I'll tell you. And also, I also want to talk about instance types. Okay, so let's talk about the instance types. Okay, yesterday I simply went with a T2 micro. Amazon has introduced a word called as instance type. Rather than just Amazon offering you use this much CPU, this much memory, rather than giving you the option to choose things of your choice, Amazon has came up with something like, I am using this. Okay, this is the best combination. I told you, right? Yesterday, I have given a nice example. You are having a very powerful engine to your car, and if the car is not having proper windshield or proper tires, it can't. Even though you have a powerful engine, it won't perform, right? Likewise, for example, you have a very super car and it has great tires, and if the engine is not really good, then you won't get a better performance. That means the overall output depends on the quantity that you use, right? You like chocolates. It doesn't mean you put a lot of sugar in it and it tastes good, right? No, definitely certain amount, certain percentage, if it crosses, It doesn't sound good. It doesn't taste good, right? Likewise, even for the servers, there are some combinations that are defined, which defines which is good. Okay, so for that combination is something Amazon has given in the form of instance type. Okay, there is also the first generation hardware which is introduced in 2007. From there, it is there. It is the first generation hardware with Amazon. Wherever you see T2, it is a second generation hardware which is introduced to Amazon by 2014. And next you see T3 Micro, T3 series. T3 series are the series that were introduced from 2020 and 21. Okay, so based on how you want. Okay, for example, applications. So whenever you get a requirement, okay, got a requirement to create a server. If you get a requirement to create a server, so for example, you got a requirement to create a server. Okay, create a server, and this is a requirement. And the immediate questions that you should ask is, okay, what type of application are you running? Host on this. Okay, this determines the type of instance. Okay, and what are the expected CPU? Yeah. How long are you planning to run? Ensure you have the billing calculated before you provision. Okay. Ensure you got it approved by your manager. Ensure this is okay. So typically everyone says, hey, create a server means go ahead to the console and do it, but that's not how it works. These are the things that needs to be considered before you make a decision. Okay, these are all the things that comes up into picture. So I was talking about, okay, in server, right? Okay, okay. If you look at this, what type of application are you running? How does it matter, Manoj? It matters. For example, if you're running any gaming based applications that requires more CPU, you take applications like you're playing big movies, or for example, you're running Microsoft Excel, or you're running Visual Studio Code on your computer. Okay, so such kind of applications are memory intensive that needs more CPU, more memory. So based on the type of application, the application designer will come to know, which in your case will be the developer, will tell you, oh, mine is a memory centric application, or mine is a GPU centric application because I need a graphic card because I'm going to run a lot of apps on it, or it is a database based application which CPU is needed more. Okay, so based on that, you are going to come and select. And if you come here, there are 793 plus types of instance types are there. Okay, so in interviews, typically, okay, interviews will ask you what all type of instances have you used. Don't just say T series. T series is a general purpose. Typically, it offers low performance. For our learning, it is good. Okay, in organizations, you see A1 based. Okay, A1 is ARM based processor which offers 2 GB. For example, you want to have high CPU, you can go with C series. Okay, C5, it's a fifth generation hardware at CPU standard. It offers 8 CPUs and 16 gig of RAM. Okay, for example, you take C5 16 large, it offers you 64 gigs of 128 gigs of RAM and 64 gig of memory. Okay, so likewise, you go to other page, and it also offers you G series. It offers 8 CPUs and 32 gigs of memory, but it also offers you 10 gigabit network performance. It also offers you graphic card. Okay, so there are applications. T series is general purpose hardware. C series is compute intensive. And there is also series called as the M series. Okay, M3 dot medium, for example, M3 dot large. So which is a memory centric application, less CPUs, more memory. All right, end of the day, it all different type of hardware. But for now, I would like to go with the free tier. So T2 micro is a part of the free tier. I would like to go with the T2 micro. All right, launch instance. Let me show you One more time. Okay, I have selected the MI and the selected MI is rel 94. Okay, 94 stands for major version is 9, minor version is 4, just like Windows 10, Windows 10.1. Okay, so like that. All right, so T2 micro is enough, and T2 micro is a part of the free tier eligible. Whenever you see free tier eligible, only that one is free as a part of the free tier, 750 hours per month in the first 1 year. So key pair. Okay, if you have a key pair, import it. In my case, I deleted it because I would like to show you one more time. Come here and select the key pair. Select the key pair. And I would like to say B58. I am using Windows. Okay, and in Windows, I'm using putty. So PPK is the format that you need to use. PPK stands for putty private key. Okay, select this. So a key pair will be selected, public key and a private key. It was downloaded here. While connecting, you need to use it. Okay, so rest of these options, security group and all, let's not worry about it. And always prefer to go with the storage that you want along with the type as GP3. GP3 is the most preferred hardware generation. Okay, just say launch instance. Now, what's really happening in the background is inside Amazon's data center on the top of the physical server, okay, your virtual machine is going to be created. This is a bare metal server. Amazon also has a bare metal server, which is nothing but a physical server. Okay, this is a physical server. It's also referred as a bare metal server. It can have a lot of memory, lot of CPU. For example, it has 16 cores of CPU and 64 GB RAM. Okay, let's assume these are the requirements. Okay. Now, if you want a VM with one CPU and 1 gig of RAM, they don't need to host the entire physical server, right? So using the virtualization concept, Amazon in the backend creates a small VM for you, and it's called as a instance. Okay, it's also called as a VM. So this is a VM which we have created with a Red Hat 9. Okay, RHEL9 is operating system that is running, and the name of the VM is B58 learning VM, and it has a line. So this is the operating system that it's going to run. Okay, now an instance has been launched. Now select that. Each and every instance that you launch will have an instance identifier. Okay, and if you see this, the instance came to the running state. Sometimes it goes and stays in the pending state for a lot of time. That means in the Amazon's data center, Amazon has not found the appropriate physical server to grant you the resources. Okay, so typically it happens if you're using a free tier or free instances, or Amazon is really experiencing a resource crunch in Amazon's data center. Now you would see instance status, right? Status running. Now if you come here and look at the bottom, there is something called as the status and alarms. Select this. Now if you look at this, the status still is, it is initializing. Did you see this? And these are called as a 2 by 2 checks. Okay, always ensure, and if you look at the status, and the status is still initializing, that means it is still coming up. And out of that, instance status checks and system status checks. What does this mean? If both of them are coming to the running state, then only you can connect to the server. If not, your connection will be refused. Or sometimes that is the reason, if you create a server also, you need to wait 1 minute of time for the network and the operating system to come up completely. All right, perfect. Okay, so let's do a refresh. And if you want to see what are the logs, okay, if it is a physical server back in back in the data center days, server with console in data center. Okay, the servers are available in the data center, and how are you going to connect? Okay, if the server is not really up or if there are some issues. right? So back in days, in the data centers that you are going to host, each and every servers can be having a attached console like this. This is not just a laptop. This is a console. Okay, you can remove this console and attach to it. Okay, typically each and every frame that you see, which looks like a CD or a DVD player, each and every one is a server, and it is hosted on a rack. Now you can connect this device, and this is called as a console, to see what's happening inside that server. Okay, from the day one, I'm saying each and every server is a big computer under the day, right? Okay, now these consoles help you to connect to the server directly. For example, back in days when I started my career, the place where I'm sitting right next to it, there is a data center for the company where I'm working. We used to go to the data center for establishing connections, and buy whenever my company buys a new servers, we used to go and work with the network team to enable it. Okay, I also worked with in the data center, work with the data center folks. Now, if the server is taking time, that time we directly used to go to the data center. We used to connect to the console and see why it's not coming up. But in cloud, Amazon won't allow you to enter into the data center, right? So that's the reason they given you an option called as, this is one of the most underrated but highly helpful option. There is an option called as monitor and troubleshoot. In the monitor and troubleshoot, there is something called as a get instance screenshot that tells you what is happening in the background. Right now, it is offering you the login prompt. That means you can enter your username and password. Sometimes, if you get any issues or if you get any challenges, you can see this here, kernel panic, blue screen of death, some XYZ error. If you raise a case with Google or Amazon, this is the prompt that they'll come and check first. Okay, this is the instant screenshot. This is very, very helpful. All right. So this is one thing I would like to talk. Okay, now I would like to connect. So which one do I need to use? Public IP address or the private IP address? Anyone? Public IP address or
Public.
private IP address? Anyone? Anyone?
Public, public.
Public IP address. Okay, if you want to connect from the internet, always use public IP address. Now open your putty. I just type my putty button. Windows putty. So enter the IP address and do not send the port. Select SSH. Run SSH. Credentials. Supply the private key. So this is the key. Select it. Open. Now you should be able to connect. You can also supply the, okay, you can also supply the details here, data, open it. Now it asks you enter the username. What is the default user account of Red Hat on AWS? Anyone?
EC2
EC2.
user.
Yes. For most
Easy
of
to use.
the AMIs that are offered on Amazon for Linux, EC2-user is a default. Okay. Now you can see that you are connected to register the system with Red Hat Insights. That means if you have a support with Red Hat, you can register this machine with, so that you can get support. Okay. So this is also something you do when you join any company. If you have a license, if you have not license is not a right word. If you have a subscription with Amazon, with Red Hat, you can even register this so that you'll get the active support. All right. Ravi, you're saying, can you unmute? You wanna talk? Sure, Ravi. You can talk, Ravi.
Yeah, so that's what I'm getting same error since yesterday. I was
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so
give it a
this
try.
is
It will work.
uh,
Give it a try. It will work. If not, connect with me after the session. Stay on the call. All right?
okay, right.
Yeah. Because if you follow whatever I mentioned, it should work. Ensure you are not using the corporate laptop. Ensure you are not connected to the VPN. These are the two prerequisites. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Are you using corporate laptop?
Yes.
It will not work from corporate majority. Are you working for any service company?
Yes.
Yeah, there are a lot of restrictions on it. Okay, please prefer to use your personal computer only. Okay, because your company will be having your own set of predefined firewall, right? So that won't allow you. All right, please try from your computer. It will work for sure. Okay.
If we get same error again in personal computer also, what should we do?
You won't get. I saw the error. It's a VPN, purely a VPN issue.
But
Okay.
you got it right, the same error.
When I never got an error, right? I connected, right? Hello.
What
I
is
connected to
the
the server, right?
system with that registered? Okay. Okay.
This is a server. Okay. From my putty, I connected to the server, and this is a server. Can you see this? The server is up from last 8 minutes. Make
Right.
sense? And from my computer using putty, I connected to the server. And if you look at this, I have given an example, right? How do you connect?
Yeah,
Answers your
I'm
question.
getting authenticating with the public key. Register the system with Red Hat Insights.
If you get this, you're already on the server, man.
Okay.
It is not an error for your information.
Okay, got
It is
it.
just a information. It is just not error. It is just an information for you. Hey, boss, you're using a Red Hat machine. If you have subscriptions that are already bought with Red Hat, register this. That's what it is
Right.
saying.
No,
And
yes,
it's
yes.
also,
Yeah, good.
sorry.
I have been connected now. Right.
Yeah. And again, Ravi, yesterday also I told you, please don't practice during I'm teaching. It's
Yeah,
my sincere
exactly.
request.
No, no, this is I done yesterday itself.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Please do not do that. Okay. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
You told me. Yes. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. But yes, if you have any challenges, you have my contact. Just feel free to reach me. All right. Yesterday I was a little occupied, didn't get a chance to respond. So this is how you can create a server. Now, every time me going and, for example, I would like to terminate the server. Okay. I just came here and terminated the server. I just terminated the server. So in which case do I need to use private IP? So I'll talk to you about it. Sumit, I'll talk to you about this. For now, if you join any company, once you enter into the company, you will connect using private IP address. But if you are connecting a server from private public network, without VPN, obviously you need. Public IP address is needed to access it from the internet like you and me are doing. If you want to access it from the internet like your company network, you can directly use private IP. Okay. In the upcoming sessions, we'll cut down the public IP address as well because public IP address usage is not at all recommended. Because in reality, in companies, we restrict servers having public IP address because we don't want anything to be accessed from the internet. So guys, me every time doing the same thing again, coming launching an instance, selecting all these things is a tedious job, right? So rather than that, what I can do is I can come here and I can create a template. Okay, so maybe let me delete whatever I have already. Okay, these are my old batch templates. Delete the template. All right. Now I would like to create a template. What do you mean by a template? Whenever you're doing something, same thing for n number of times, what we do is we create a template and we feed it with all the needed predefined options so that it will be having all the needed options. So what I would like to do is rel9, okay, B58, as I mentioned, everything I'll start with the B58, okay, rel9, rel9, learning image. Now I would like to supply what is the AMI to be used. I'll come here and I'll try to choose an AMI. Okay, so just say rel, go to the community. Okay, this one. Select this. Okay. Now scroll down, instance type. You can include this. I would like to include this instance type. Okay, instance type. I would like to go with T3 micro. Okay, in your case, don't use T3 micro at this point of time. I just selected T3 micro. or I'm using a wrong image. Okay, it is a very big image. So let me try to choose some other image, which is a verified image. Not this, GP2, GP3. Animation of your choice, guys, okay?
Hey,
Come here. Ravi, please go on mute. All right. Now I would like to choose an instance type. Okay. What I would like to do is I'll be using something. Okay. So for example, I just want to go with 2 CPUs and 1 gig of memory. T4G micro, something. Okay. Anything of my choice. And key pair. I would like to go with B58 all the time. Now scroll down. Okay, storage, how much storage that I would like to give. I would like to do 10 GB storage. 10 GB storage is more than enough. That's all. And ensure deletion on termination is yes. That means when you delete a server, the associated disk is also going to be deleted. Launch the instance. Okay, create a template. What exactly you did is you created a template. So from tomorrow, whenever you want to launch an instance, you don't have to come and select select this option, that option, go to the community MI, select this. You don't have to do all this, right? The entire story can be eliminated by coming here and selecting this and launch the instance from the template. Okay, now what is the template that you're using? B58 REL learning image is the template that I am using. That's it. And how many instances do you want? 1, 2, 3. How much you want, you can. All you need to do is just come here and launch it with the 2 clicks. Earlier you are making 6 clicks. Now just with 2 clicks, you're able to launch an instance. If you want 10 instances, you can also do that. Okay, now through launch instance, whatever the instance that you created, you need to name it, right? Because you just launched the instance. So come here and let's try to name it as B58 learning Red Hat Mine. Right, so now you can see the instance is in the running state, but if you look at the status checks, both of them are still in the initializing phase. Now I would like to see what is happening in the background. Get instance screenshot. You can see it still cannot fetch the screenshot. Instance is built in the phase of initializing. That's okay. Now what I would like to do is I would like to see what is happening in the background. Come here, monitor and troubleshoot, get the system log. Now it's going to show you what's happening in the system background. Okay, it's not yet up, so you cannot see. Okay, in case if there are any challenges, it is also going to show you. But for now, let's wait. I want this to be showing up in a running state. Let's wait. Now it came up to the running state. Come here. It's still in the initializing phase. Unless until it comes to the running state, you cannot connect. So any questions so far? Anyone? Any questions, anyone? Are we clear? I would like to take a minute.
Manoj, can you try to connect to the putty with
Yeah,
this server?
we are doing that only, right?
No,
We are
no,
connecting.
now you have created another server, right?
Mm-hmm.
So are you going to use the same key pay?
Yeah. Yes, yes, you're right. And if you come here and if you scroll down all the way down, you can see, okay, you can also see what is the key being used. Come to the security. Not here. Where is the key? Do a control F key. Can you see this? The key being used is B58. Okay, if you want to connect, this is the key you want to use. And also you can purely customize what needs to be shown up here. For example, I am not interested about monitoring security group name that needs to be shown up here. IPv6, no. Elastic IP, no. Instance state, instance type, status checks, alarm. Okay, I do not want rest of this. Okay, just say now only these fields are going to be shown to you. Did you see this? And in interview, if they ask you, how do you come to know this instance is running from a very long time, but how do I come to know when this server is created? Okay, a lot of people ask this question to check how comfortable we are or how good you are in looking into the system. Okay, so there is an option called as a launch time. This is not just when the server was started, it is just like when the server was created. This is very important. Okay, one of the most underrated option. Okay, so yeah, I don't think in Google Cloud you can directly see that, but Amazon Cloud it offers you directly. All right, now if you want to connect, all you need to do is copy this IP address and just follow the same story. Okay, any questions, anyone, before I proceed? Any questions? Questions?
So Manoj, in real time, so these instance types you have shown, right? T3, T2, T4, and C G series up to G series. So which is the preferable instance type in the real time? I mean, most of the clients they prefer this type of instance. I mean, CPU space this much be
No,
required.
that's not true.
Mhm.
Okay, that's not true. It's not like every customer will be using the same thing. No, that's not true. Okay, each and every customer uses the requirement as per their own choice. Okay, the company where I'm working on, the application that is running would be different. The companies that you are using, whatever the requirement they are using would be different, right? So it purely depends. It's never recommended. Okay, and for example, yours is a gaming-based company where you need lot of GPU based workloads where you're running GPU graphic based workloads. Okay, what your company, your infrastructure manager, or who deals with Amazon, okay, for each and every company, for each and every project from Amazon, you will be having a manager who will be in touch with you, and his role is called as a TAM. TAM also stands for Technical Account Manager. Okay. Now you are going to be in touch with them saying that, hey, we are going to use this, we are going to use that. What are your recommendations? Then they'll align you Amazon technical support manager to you, to account manager, to ensure they share you all the needed things. Okay, it's never like decisions will be made overnight. Trust me. It goes by iterations, it goes by load test, it goes by a lot of sanity checks. Without that, nothing will be proceeding further. Okay, clear?
Got it.
Any questions, anyone? I could see Venugopal has raised. Yeah, Venu, go ahead.
Yeah, Manu, you mentioned that the launch time of the server, right?
Yes.
So when we stop the server, then will it change the launch time or will it show the old time
It is
like
like when the server was launched, created.
created, not
Yeah.
like when we restart and it
No.
shows a
That's a
different time?
creation time. When the server was launched.
Hmm.
Okay. The launch the server is like creating a server. Starting a server is just like start. Okay. That's a very good question. Yeah. That's the reason I would like to stress this point. All right.
Thanks.
Now, how do I reach Amazon? For example, okay. Sometimes we get a more billing. Okay. We got a challenge. When to reach Amazon? When to reach AWS support? Okay. For any technical queries in real time in projects, for any technical questions or billing or account related questions, you can reach them. How do I reach them? Let me show you that. Okay. So in our case, okay, you will also uh, reach them for certain things. For example, I would like to reach Amazon. Even in reality, you reach the same way with Amazon. So back in days, we used to call them over phone. They'll ask you all the details. They enter you all the details. Okay. So when I started my career in 2010 and 11, whenever you want to place any support, they used to ask us, hey, what is the server hardware that you're trying to place? Each and every server will have a physical serial number. We used to have the database. We used to tell them, hey, this is the server details and this is what it is. This is what it is. We used to tell them. Okay, but it's not like that anymore. So come here on the top question mark, there is something called as a support center. come here and select the support center. These are all the things that are expected. Okay, it's not just like, okay, create a server, learn what is cloud, what is DevOps. It's also like learning the process, because if you don't learn the process, if you don't know how it works in the backend, people easily identify, oh, this guy just learned elsewhere and coming and demonstrating that Okay, always always ensure you know the process along with the technology. All right, perfect. Now there are two types of cases that you can raise with Amazon. One is billing and account. Okay, that's related to your account. Like, hey, I'm not able to launch more than 10 instances. Or, hey, I could see the billing is more than expected, more than what I'm expecting. What can I do? How can I do? Or technical questions. Hey, I'm trying to start a server. It's taking a lot of time. Or we are planning to do this setting. Is it recommended or not? Hey, we are seeing a warning banner on my computer, on my AWS console. And guys, typically this is also something we refer it as a console. Okay, if someone asks you connect to the console, that means they're asking you to open the AWS portal. Okay, AWS portal or AWS console, anything is your web. All right, remember this point. All right, come here. So you cannot create a technical case. You can come here, and if you select a technical case, in our case, we are using, okay, like this. In our case, I'm using a support plan, which is free, which is nothing but the basic plan. That's the reason it's asking business support free. You can try for 2 months, but I don't want. Okay, but I would like to show you how to create an case with AWS. Okay, you can create it and saying that, for example, let's assume if your account is not getting activated. Okay, you created an account, but it is taking more than 24 hours. But still, you can sign in. Okay, your account is not completely activated means your account is created but not able to launch any service. Sometimes you'll get an error like, hey, looks like your account is not completely activated. That time, what you need to do is you need to come here and account activation, and you need to come and say account verification. Okay, okay, we come here, next additional steps, and say account is not activated, and okay, account is not activated. Just say hello team. We could see that my account is not activated completely. Is there anything that is needed from my end to expedite my account activation? Thanks. So you can just mention, I would like to create a case. Okay, and if there are any artifacts, you can also do that. Now, this is the next thing, everyone, AI. Yeah, next come here and you can create a case. Come and they ask you how do you want to contact. If yours is a business account, you also have a phone option. They even phone you, call you, submit. Your case is submitted. Now they'll reach you back with all the questions, answers, everything here in the same. The answer is same even if you're using Google Cloud or Azure Cloud. Okay. So for example, if you want to create one more case, if you see last time I have raised a case with AWS asking to increase the limit. Okay. So yeah, that is one thing. And I would like to create one more case. Okay, this time I would like to talk about billing. Okay, this is something related to billing category. Payment, not payment, billing. Other billing question. Okay, I'll say this month I got a lot of billing. How can I? Okay, you can say uh, uh, in the first month or second month when you get a bill more than 1000, you can just ask them first time saying that, hey, I got this much billing, is there any way that you can waive? Okay, request on billing adjustment. Team, I am in the process of learning AWS, and in the interim I realize that few of the services are quite interesting and jaw-dropping, and I eventually consumed them and had a great, just try to talk nicely, great experience in using them. But I got a bill of $30, which is high to me being a learner. If you're a college student, they give you 100% off as well. Okay, learner. Would there be any chance of waiver? You can also raise a case. Okay, don't use this all the time for 100, 200, 300 rupees as well. But when you get a bill more than 1000 or 2000, just go with this. Once or twice, they'll entertain. All right. This is how you can reach Amazon. Any questions on this? Questions? I'm not going to create a case because I already created multiple times. They offered me multiple waivers. I don't want to misuse that. Okay. But in your case,
Since
you
it
can
is
do
a
that
free tier,
since you are a, yeah, go ahead.
what is the turnaround time? Because since it is a free tier, right? So
24
maybe we
hours.
cannot expect.
24 hours,
So,
we know.
okay.
Amazon is known for one of the best support we know. Okay. You take any cloud. I gave you Nike example, right? In the space of shoes, how Nike offers the best support in cloud, Amazon offers quite interesting support, by the way. If you get any issues, they'll be with you till the time the issues is resolved.
So even for a free service also, like the quickly
for free service, they don't offer you technical support. For billing, account related thing, yes, they will be supporting you.
But
Okay,
here in free service also, we have a technical issue, right? Like we can enter technical thing related thing.
But you cannot enter. It says you are using a free plan. If you are using a business plan or if you are using a developer plan, you can create. All right. All right, Vinu.
Yeah, thanks.
Anything else, anyone? Now, when you join any company, the very first thing that we try to do is first see when you join any project in any technology, first 3 months are quite important for you. Okay. Whatever the respect and whatever the trust that you try to build in the first 3 months are going to last with you for a longer time. Okay. So it's always good when you join any company, try to understand the business that they're doing, because if you understand the business, then only you can help. Understand the business that they're doing. Okay. That is the first thing. And then try to see what all services are they using. Are they really using it? Or are there any stale services or are there any stale servers that are used which are not really needed? Is also something we should be knowing it. Okay. For that, it all starts with billing. How do I come to know what is the billing of my AWS account? How do I come to know what all regions that my company is using? How do I come to know what is the bill that is incurring my company? How do I come to know, okay, what all services and what all regions that they're using, or what are zones that they're using? These are something you can you can sit next with someone and understand this. But it's always recommended to explore things of your own. That gives you the good understanding. It also makes you make others feel that you are someone who goes things of your own. Okay, people always like someone who is a self-diver. So if you want to know what is the billing around that, select the top right corner of your account. There is something called as billing and cost management. Billing and cost management. You come here and for example, I'll show mine. Don't worry about my billing and all this thing because I use a lot for my personal projects as well. Shrikant, go on mute. All right. Now, for example, so what I would like to show you is go to the bills. And if you come here and if you look at June, In the month of June, what is the billing? $124. And when the bill was issued? 2nd of July. And I'll come here and I'll show you what all services I have consumed. And if you come here, I have used load balancers a lot. Okay, I have used a lot. Okay, and that if you come here and if you see this, you can see them. Can you see this? And in the North Virginia, I have used the classic load balancers, and that has cost me $33, which is quite expensive for me. And if you come here and if you try to see this, there are also elastic cloud compute, which I have used it for a very long time, and that costed me $24. Where did I use this? Where did I use this? I have used this in the Ireland. No, I have used this. Where did I use it? I have used it. But why I got the bill in Ireland? Okay, this is another thing. Let me try to explore it. I really don't know why I'm using compute there. Okay, let me duplicate that. Let's explore, because I don't remember I'm using any server in Ireland. So let me go to EC2. Okay, this is how you can investigate. I never know that I'm using a server in Ireland. Now what I'm gonna do is I'll come here and I'll go to the billing and cost management. Okay, go to EC2. Select the Ireland, and I think I'm using some crap there. Why am I getting? Can you see this? There is a snapshot. Okay, snapshot is a disk. Okay, backup. The word backup is not used in AWS. Instead of using there, did you take a snapshot? Okay, and for this, it is costing me. Okay, delete the snapshot, and I also say delete the things that are underlying. Okay, snapshot is in use by this AMI. All right, so I have used this AMI. Okay, so I published this AMI for some purpose. Come here and deregister it. That's all. And you deregister it, and the associated snapshot can also be deleted now. Okay, this is how you can troubleshoot. Okay, and this is the reason why I got $0.40 bill. And you can also see I got EC2. I used extensively on the top of North Virginia, and that costed me $22. And out of that, this is very high cost. Okay, and if you come here, I use a T3 medium instances for X amount, and it costed me. And I also use T3.xlarge for a lot of time. That costed me $6.55. And along with that, I also use relational database service that costed me this much. And I would like to see whether I'm still using the RDS service or not. Okay, RDS stands for relational database service that offers database as a service. And I have used T3 micro for almost 73 hours, and that costed me 1.25. But I also used RDS extended support. Okay, and okay, so USD per hour. I was using some old version of MySQL. If you are using it, they'll charge you more for the support. Okay, now come here and I'm gonna say nothing. Do you have any instances? I don't have any, but do I have any snapshots? I don't think so. Okay, but the last time for the last batch I have used it, and that's the reason it has costed me. And also I have used Elastic Kubernetes service, which is EKS. This is just a proof how much extensively the services that we are going to use. And I also use MongoDB. I also use a key management service. Okay. I don't need them anymore, by the way. So what I'm gonna do is I go to secret manager. I don't need them anymore. I'll go ahead and delete it. Okay. So since it's training, I identified that these are something that I don't need anywhere. And that's the reason I'll go ahead and delete it. And you can see there are no secrets. Okay. But it says I have secrets. And if you see this, these secrets are available in North Virginia. Where am I looking? I'm in the Ireland. So switch to North Virginia. Okay. Now you should be seeing RoboShop secrets or something. Okay, I don't want these secrets. I would like to delete them. Delete the secret. Okay, so you cannot delete the secret directly. Any sensitive information like username, password, all these things. Okay, you can also save them and use it. as a part of the standard practice, but you cannot delete them all of a sudden. You can put a cooldown period as 7 days and can delete the project. And what else can I perform the cleanup? Okay, this is how I do when I join any company. Okay, I also see Route 53. Route 53 is a DNS service. So that one also I do not want. So I would like to delete that. Okay, and it clearly says you are using $2 for it, and this is this one for the first 25 hosted zones. I don't need this anymore, so I'll delete it. So the cloud carriers is my domain. Apart from that, I'm going to delete everything. Okay, roboshop.site. I don't want it, so I'm going to delete that. Okay, because it's costed me $2, which I really don't want. And it says there are some records. Don't worry about what is this record and all these things. We'll learn this later. Okay, but it's just like a regular conventional delete all these things. Okay. All right. Roboshop.internal. And also I don't need these records. Okay, this is how I perform a cleanup because I know these are stale. So I don't need them anymore. So I'm just deleting them. Okay, just like how we use google.com and all these things, we'll also create our own domain. Okay, so I think in the week 2, I'll also buy a domain and I'll show you how in companies they migrate the domain from their on-prem to from their on-prem to cloud. How do they migrate? That is also something I'll be teaching you later. So I save $2 more. All right. So the next thing, roboshop.internal, I really don't want at this point of time. I also would like to delete the records and then the zone. I don't need that anymore. Okay, so I got to know based on the bills. Okay, that's how we can troubleshoot. Okay, now I also would like to request Amazon saying this $33 is huge for me. So I would like to show you live on how I'm going to ask Amazon. Okay, in the support center. Okay, I'll be reaching Amazon now. Create a case with Amazon, account and billing, search for service. It's the billing and subcategory, billing dispute. So they follow they follow US standard time, DRT. I've been using AWS quite a while. A lot of students explaining. I also pay most of the bills. It's for my actual usage, but on my current bill dated 0702, I could see most of them are due to my is there any way that you can help me with the waiver of July. Thanks. Okay, now let's see how they are going to help me with that. Okay, Amazon is known for that, they're quite generous. Okay, so whatever they are going to offer, that might be petty to them, but it helps us, right? So it's always good to ask. So yeah, you can ask them, they're gonna. And also the next thing I would like to show you, how do I calculate the server cost? Billing in AWS. How billing work in AWS? Okay, so billing in AWS. So billing calculator in AWS. Just say that. So this is the online calculator, which is an official pricing calculator from Amazon. Using this, you can create an estimate. For example, you are going to run a server for 6 months or 1 year, and you know that you're going to use some T3 medium. Okay, so search by location, because as I mentioned, the price varies from region to region. Always ensure you select the region and be specific on where you're doing. And I'm interested about EC2 configure. Now I'm gonna tell how much CPU, how much memory I would need, and I'm interested about okay, T3 dot medium. Okay, any instance from the just say T series, T3 series. I would like to go by search by instance type. How many CPUs? For example, I want 4 CPUs and I would need 8 gigs of memory. Okay, network performance. Yes, I want performance of up to 15 gig. That means I'm expecting quite high performance CPU. Okay, or you can also go by T3 large, T3.2x large. I'll just go by T3.2x large. That offers me 8 CPUs and 30 gig of memory and up to 5 gigs of network speed, which is quite good, right? Now, what I'm going to do is I'll come here, I'll scroll down. I'll say there are something compute instance savings plan and on demand. Okay, you are going to use either this or this when you know that you are going to use this for extensive amount of time. So in EC2, okay, billing is based on whether you're using on demand, and another is reserved instances, or another is spot. Okay, so guys, you got a job in Bangalore and you moved to Bangalore, and you would like to stay there for 6 months, and first 1 week you stayed in a hotel and it costed you 10,000 rupees. Now you felt, okay, staying in a hotel is going to cost me very much high. So what you're going to do, you end up going to a house by renting it or going it for a lease. So if you go for a lease and if you confirm someone saying that, hey boss, I'm going to stay here for the next 1 month, next 1 year, what is the what is the rent for it? They say, hey, okay, if you're gonna stay here for the next 1 year, bill rent is 18,000. But if you commit to me that you're going to stay here for the next 2 years, I'm gonna give it for you for the 15 months, 15 years, 15,000. So that means if you give an agreement saying that I'm going to stay here for the next 1 year or 2 years, they'll give you some better discount. But they'll also tell you a clause saying if you are not going to stay for 2 years as per the signed lease, then you are going to pay penalty like 2 months upfront fee or 3 month upfront fee, right? That is called as a giving a commitment. Likewise, Amazon also, if you give a commitment to Amazon saying, I would like to use it for the next 1 year or next 3 years, if you commit them by paying all the upfront, you'll get a better price. And if you see this, the price would be different. Okay, and this is called as a reserved instance. And if you come here and if you try to look at this, it's costing you how much? And if you are ready to pay all of it, okay, see, show the calculations. If you see this, total cost monthly is this much. Okay, and if you are going to use an instant savings plan, 753 hours per month, okay, and it's going to cost you, okay, this much. How much? $104 per month. If you give a commitment and if you're going to pay them all together upfront, it's going to cost you this much. Okay, now I'll come here and I'll say on demand. Okay, what I'm gonna say is on demand. Come here, and this time I would like to go by t3.large. t3.2x large, and this time I will be going by on demand. And if you go by on demand, see the billing that they cost you, $242 per month. Can you see this? If you are giving a commitment that you're going to use it for the next 3 years by paying all the advance at a shot, it just costs you how much? It just costs you $100 per month. But you don't know how many days you are going to use. You really don't know when you are going to terminate that instance. For example, you are doing a POC, proof of concept, and you are going to use it only for a short time, like 2 months or 3 months or 1 month. You never know. At that time, it makes sense to go with on-demand instance. But if you go with on-demand instance, it's costing you $250. That means 250% more. But if you go by on-demand reserved instance by giving a commitment to Amazon that you're going to use it for the next 3 years, you'll get it for almost 66% discount. But there is a catch. You gave a commitment to Amazon saying that you're going to use it for the next 3 years, and Amazon is charging you $100 per month or $150 per month, right? And if you use that instance, or if you don't use that instance, you need to pay Amazon for the next 3 years that $150. Typically, companies, they go by this plan, and that's the reason they get things for dead cheap. Okay, there is a difference between on-demand instance versus reserved instance. So this is a gold mine. Spot is a gold mine in Amazon. You'll get it for 90% discount. So up to 90% discount. So if everyone is getting up to 90% discount, why not? Why people even use reserved instance versus on-demand instance, right? If you say if something you are getting it for a discounted price, definitely there are some takeaways. There are some conditions, right? So what are those conditions? What things needs to be considered? All these things we'll see in tomorrow's session. And also, guys, people who has not confirmed their enrollment, please confirm their enrollment, and we are going to roll out the registrations. Okay, and tomorrow is the last session, and from Monday sessions are going to be private. All right. And yeah, see you tomorrow. We're going to meet same time, 6 a.m. IST or 8:30 p.m. Eastern. I could see some questions in the channel. Sumit, how instances can be used or integrate with secured private networks? I hope this will be covered in the upcoming sessions. So Sumit, we are going to build our own network. Okay, from the scratch. We are going to calculate the needed IPs and how many networks we need. How are we going to enable the secure network? All these things we are going to cover in the month 2. Okay, this is a secure network. We are going to build our own network, Sumit. Any questions, anyone? Ravi, go ahead.
Can you send me email for registration?
No, you just need to confirm your confirmation saying me, I would like to enroll. That's it.
Where I need to? In WhatsApp or what?
Text me, yes.
Okay, I'll do that, yes.
All right. Any questions, anyone? Guys, does it make sense what I'm speaking? Any questions, anyone on this?
So Manoj, how do we know how many hours we have used the TEC2? And so we have that 750 hours
Yeah.
print.
You'll get the credit history. Okay, since mine is not a paid, you can get the credit history in the usage. Go to billing. Okay. Where is billing? Yeah, go to the billing. You can find the usage here itself. Okay, let it load. You can see the month to date host, right? There it tells you how much free tier you have used and all these things. Okay, this is the spot that you can use to find everything. And you can also find here in credits if Amazon sometimes give you some coupons, right? And if you have anything credits, you can also use it here. Come here and look at the free tier and month to date 4 service offers in use. Okay, that means I'm using something. All right.
Yeah.
Clear?
Yeah.
Perfect. Any questions, anyone? Anil, I could see your hand raised. Srikanth, Ravi.
No questions.
All right. Guys, I want everyone to connect to the server. I have shown you 3 times so far. I want everyone to connect because that is a step 1. If you don't know that, ensure you practice, watch, or reach me. I want that to be done at any cost today. All right. That's it. And we're gonna meet tomorrow. Yeah, Monica. Hi.
Hi,
Yeah.
Manoj. Sorry, I joined late today, very
Yeah.
late.
That's okay.
So,
I'll get you the
yeah,
recording ready.
yeah. So, what is the fee and all
Let's
for
connect
this?
with me. Connect with me.
Okay, sure.
You have my number, right?
Yeah, I have.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions?
Hello.
Yeah.
We are
Manoj?
using
Yeah.
hello.
Please go ahead.
We are using a default username, but EC2 user. Can we change that?
Yeah, we can.
Uh,
You can create your own user account. How can you create the user account? How can we set these things up? How can we connect using that? All these things will be covered in the upcoming sessions. Okay.
okay.
All right. Any other questions, guys?
Nothing.
All right then.
Manoj,
Yes, Ravi.
yeah, we are creating two, key pair, right? One is public and one is private, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that we have to use public key only, right?
You tell me. We discussed this
Yeah, we
point
have
few
to use
times.
public key,
I mean,
but
we need to use
we
both,
have
right?
to
Not just one. We need to use both, not just one, right? If you just use how the authentication works, one key will be on your computer, which is private. Another key will be on the server, which is public.
no, while key, no, key in the key pairs, we are creating two things, right? One is private and public. So where public will save
On the server.
on the server itself.
Yeah. I'll show you. If you want a location within the server where it's going to sit, I get your question. I'll also show you that. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
That's a good question. I'll show you that, Ravi.
Sure.
All right. All right. That's it. And we're going to meet tomorrow, same time. Thank you. Signing off.